Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. I am Diana from IK Academy. I would like to welcome all of you to our webinar of the Learn with IK Live series. So for your information, this webinar is organized by our iClub by IK community page, Facebook. We have a dream to create and nurture a community of great engineers. So do join our community page and also don't forget to invite other people so that everyone can gain something beneficial from it. Just go to the page and click join. As a friendly reminder, please register yourself through Eventbrite to make sure that you won't miss any notifications for our upcoming events and as a record purposes that you have joined our webinar today. I would like to say thank you to all our returning audience and to those who are new and this is the first time that you heard about us. We are a technical training provider and we have the purpose of transforming engineers into greatness. At IK Academy, we wanted to build and inspire greater engineers for the world, integrating knowledge as a force for good. We believe that greater engineers, greater world. So neutrality is our priority. We are totally brand neutral with a strict focus on education. We are committed to provide the best learning experience to everyone. We believe learning is a lifelong process. Before we proceed with our webinar today, please like and share this live webinar with those who you think will be interested with our sharing today. You may click the share button and share it directly to your social media page, or you may share around the link via WhatsApp, Telegram, or any medium that you may find. For your information, this webinar is streaming on our Facebook, LinkedIn, and also YouTube page. And also please type hashtag IK Academy in comment to show your presence when you are visiting the page. So today, we will have a webinar with the title of Synergising Efforts Towards Zero Defect. Our invited speaker, T.S. Mohd Nizam bin Muhammad Amin, will share his knowledge and experience with us today. So let me read a bit about his profile. Yeah? Morning, Mr. Nizam. So T.S. Nizam Muhammad Amin is a professional consultant, graduated from Tokyo University of Agriculture and Technology with degree in electronics in 1991. He has completed several certifications, including HRDF 39709, Training of Lecturer, IATF 16949 2016 Consultant Calibration Program, Advanced DOE, and Total Quality Control. He was recently awarded the Best Training Award 2022 from HRD Corp under the Ministry of Human Resources. Currently engaged as a professional consultant in Malaysia and Japan in manufacturing sectors. He is also the VP for a Japanese company involving in security services and VP for a Singapore Forex firm in Tokyo, Japan. Having over 30 years of work and consultation experience, he provides production and management consultation in Malaysia, Singapore, and Japan. He covered both SMEs and MNCs industries, both manufacturing and service sectors in E&E, automotive, aviation, petrochemical, pharmaceutical, hotels, food manufacturers, and semiconductors. So, well, we are delighted to have T.S. Nizam together with us today. Assalamualaikum, Nizam.
Hi, Waalaikumsalam.
Good morning, or should I say Ohayo gozaimasu?
Yeah.
Okay, so for your information, T.S. Nizam can speak Japanese very fluently.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything that you want to add up to your profile just in case I miss any point just now that is important?
No, that's wonderful. Yeah,
Okay.
I love the comment there. Yeah.
Okay, so to, yeah, by the way, congratulations for the award. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks to all of you for your support.
Yeah. Okay, so to everyone here, please say hello to T.S. Nizam by typing in comment, and also don't forget to type hashtag IK Academy. So again, to everyone, before we proceed with the webinar, I would appreciate your help to like and share this live show to everyone that you can think of. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to type your question in comment section anytime, and I will read your question accordingly if time permits. So I think, Nizam, you may share your slide and see.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, you can.
I need to look for the button. The button is at the back.
Okay, now I can see your slide.
You can see my slide, right?
Okay,
let me change it into full screen.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's full screen already. Okay.
No, already full screen?
Okay. So enjoy, everyone. So anything, you just call me.
Okay. Good morning, guys. Thank you for putting the introduction, Tiana. Like, as you know, my name is Nizam. I can speak in 3 languages. I think I can consider fluent in Japanese. Now, today's topic is talking about synergizing efforts towards zero defect, how we could achieve uh, ourselves towards zero defect in the workplace. All right. Now, before I share my thoughts and the things that I have seen in Japan, in Malaysia, let me give you some summary about the new world economic order. Okay, now we know that we have been through the pandemic. Okay, and most companies that have been after this post-pandemic, they are surviving, trying to survive in the new world, right? The logistic have changed, right? The salary increment have changed everywhere in the world. I think if you notice that in US now, they are looking into a world big recession. All right. Now, these are the changes that have happened. Right. If you look in the March 11, 2020, right, WHO announced that we have a world pandemic. And if you look in February 24th, in 2022, Russia officially invaded Ukraine. The war was before, but then at that point there, uh, they invaded officially, what I say. And in April 1st, 2023, I think, BRIC just announced that they want to forego or let go US dollar in their transaction. Now, BRICS consist of Brazil, Russia, India, uh, China, South Africa, and it was founded in 2009. And to make things even a bit worrying for many economists out there in the world, including Malaysia, on April 6, 2023, Saudi Arabia, okay, has decided that they want to join the Shanghai Corporate Organization, right? Now, not only that, I think somewhere in 2023, this lovely woman here, IMF chief, the name is Chief Kristalina Georgieva, right? She mentioned that this year, in 2023 onwards, 1/3 of the global economy will experience a recession. Okay, and she added that in 2023, economy activity is projected to be stagnant. Okay, with rising unemployment and falling inflation. Now, if you look at this data here, right? These are data sources I got from visualcapital.com, right? And you can see that these are the global risks in 2023. If you can see that the highest risk here is the energy supply crisis. And I think in Malaysia, we also felt that we have a cost living crisis. We have rising inflation. We have food supply crisis and also cyber attacks on critical infrastructure. Now, it happened, unfortunately, a couple of days ago. My daughter Maybank account was hacked, all right, was hacked by some idiot in TikTok, okay, and I think she lost about substantial amount of money, I think about $700 to $1,000. Now, what does that shows us? It shows us that, things are not getting easy. Yeah, I'm not saying that things are getting worse, but at this moment, things are not getting easy as it should be, right? And further adding to that is those that I've mentioned, war uh, and everything. Even I think the bank in US, I think recently has tumbled. Where one went into bankruptcy, and what it has impacted is that right now, if you see, I'm doing forex, you see that US dollar is going so high, so very expensive as against the yen. In those days, it's about 110 yen to a US dollar. Now it's about 136 yen. Okay, it's not getting easy. And if you look at this as world competitiveness, we see that Malaysia right now is ranked at 83. Okay, it's almost as to Indonesia, which is 81, to Thailand 86. Right. Now, what does this shows us? Singapore is talking about a level of 90. We are not being very competitive to many of those here in this region. Now, you look at this another data, right? I think Malaysia performance have dropped since 2018 from the rank of 22 to the rank of 32. Now, with all the crises that we face, I think we as the engineers, as the manufacturers, as employers, we need to rethink about, whether we should make a further improvement, whether we should go beyond whatever we are practicing now towards what a lot of people thought that it is a myth, which we call zero defect. Now, zero defect is not something new. Zero defect is an old concept. I think many companies were talking about zero defect in the 1980s, 1990s when I was first started to work. But then if you look currently after post-pandemic, a lot of major manufacturers like Western D, okay, Sandys is part of Western D, Dyson, they are all pushing towards Lean Six Sigma. They are all pushing towards achieving zero defects. They have imposed to their subcontractors because I'm one of the trainer for Dyson, Western D, and also the subcontractors pushing their subcontractors to achieve zero defect. Now, let's look how major issues, right, that have been hovering around us and how these are affecting us. Now, you can see alone in Malaysia, right? We are talking about labor shortages, right? Labor shortages is something that Malaysia has been facing since, I think, the early 1990s. Okay, it started from plantation industry. I think now it has already emerged into electronics industry. But as a way I look at it, it is going to be very crucial for many manufacturers here in Malaysia, right? Then on top of all the economic issues that we have supply chain instability, especially after post-pandemic, we have that. Then people are pushing for smart factory initiatives. People like all those big giants like Western D, for example, right? They want to follow up on the quality chain, and they want to understand how their product is being affected in the supply chain, right? And they are pushing for smart factory. They want to monitor the production. And then talking about once they have this smart factory initiative, we are talking about the cyber security threat, right? We have heard before that companies are being threatened, accounts are being hacked, ransomware, call it, right? And this thing is talking about, can we sustain whatever we are facing? Can we sustain our labor? Can we sustain our supply chain and so forth? So in short, how does this impact us, right? Now, in other words, since the post-pandemic, when the training started, I have seen many employees, both locals and overseas manufacturers here in Malaysia. They're talking about higher production costs. They're talking about, Malaysia has increased the energy costs, right? TNB has, raised the tariff, and then the raw material, because it is being like scarce. When Ukraine war broke up, and then with the US initiative to pull out from China, and then after that, I think Japanese government pumped in trillions of US dollars to ensure that companies are no longer operating in China. This has shaken, right, the shaken of the raw material, especially when talking about energy. Okay, and then at the same time, you can see that inflation is increasing. Okay, for those in Malaysia, you see that now people are demanding for higher salary. Okay, it's the same thing like now in Japan. I think they are not also being spared in terms of raw material increase, and people are asking for higher salary, right? So these are all impacting us slowly and slowly. If you look at those food that are being supplied in Malaysia, I think especially the food is the price is getting increased. Why? Because production cost has increased, and presently in Malaysia, the government want to increase the employer contribution to the government for HRDF fund, and this subsequently will translate back into the increase of raw material or services, right? Then thus putting the inflation at a high, right? Now the competitiveness is also being how to say challenged. Okay, we have smaller market demand, and then we need to compete with the rest of the other manufacturers in the world. We have lower purchasing power. People do not want to spend, and if you look recently during the Hari Raya, I think people would not want to spend. Okay, and again we have many new competitors. Now, that's the reason why we need to rethink about the strategy that we want to put in our work area, in our workplace. And that's the topic of how we can synergy our effort towards achieving zero defect. Now, if you look at this slide, right? Now, if we were to look at, no, it is a myth, right? Then we are talking about you do not want to take any action, then there is no light at the end of the tunnel, right? But then if you think that there are improvement possibilities, no, I can make that change. Now, zero defects could be achieved, right? Then there's still hope at the end of the tunnel. Now, I can share you in this slide here, right? Now, in order for us to achieve operational excellence, right? There are a lot of things that we need to rethink about our current effort, right? Now, as I mentioned, everybody is looking into zero defect because this is the highest wastage in terms of operational. Okay. Now, if we are able to work towards zero defect, then our production cost would also go down. Okay. And we go for another effort as well. Not only zero defect, we are talking about if we could actually achieve higher productivity, then again the production cost would be lower. Okay, so in this couple of days also, I think you see some of the top people in Malaysia is talking about how we could do with a higher productivity, right? So that same topic here, how could we make sure that we have less defects? We go for a higher operational excellence. How can we have zero defects not only in the production floor, zero work error in the office, in the administration, in the supporting department? How can we do that, right? So if you look at the left hand side of that chart there, okay, one of the key factor is employee involvement. Okay, how can we have everybody involved, right? How can we have a higher innovative products? Product doesn't mean product that's being produced by production. It also in service industry, right? Whatever package they provide to you, can they have zero defects, right? Like for example, if you buy chicken rice, I ordered chicken rice recently, I think about 2 weeks ago. I brought home and some of my order was not in, right? That is also what we call defects, right? Now, how can we have this zero defect concept, okay, in all our activities so that we are able to achieve a better product costing, okay? Means a better profit, means a better salary for you and me, okay? With higher productivity, with less defects, I'm very sure that we can not only eliminate defects, but we could also eliminate the dependency on foreign workers. Now, in order for us to achieve zero defects, right, we need to have, going from phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, right? Now, the question is, are we ready? Right? There are a lot of people, they are skeptical about whether they could achieve zero defects. Now, in my last training in, I think in Kuala Lumpur recently, talking about Poka UK. Poka UK is the method that we use to ensure that we have error-free services, error-free work, or error-free product. Now, remember this, if problems still exist, means there are improvement opportunities around, means we still have the opportunity given to us to make further improvement, right? But then the only challenge that we have is to change our mindset, right? So if you ask me, zero defects is not something it's doable, right? It's doable. Now, if you look at the chart here, now we need to improve the way we do things, okay? We need to depend on data. We need to depend on perhaps even like IoT to ensure that we make a better prediction, better prevention, so that we can achieve zero defect. Okay. Now, what are the mindset that we need to change? Now, Lean Six Sigma is not something new. It has been there for companies producing semicon products. I was in semicon industry as a process engineer. Lean Six Sigma is not new to me, right? But then, in order for us to achieve Lean Six Sigma, okay, we are talking about improvement activities. Now, what are the improvement activities that we should look at, right? Later on, we will go into that depth. But then the first thing is data-driven. Now, we make decision not based on assumption. We make our day-to-day decision based on data. It's the same thing in manufacturing or in the work environment. Okay, we can't just do things based on do say or hearsay, right? We have to be on data. Now, we need to ensure that our control techniques, right, to eliminate whatever in terms of defects that appear in our workplace. Okay, we need to have a proper standardization procedure to ensure that the maintenance of critical process parameters are being maintained. Now, these are the key things that we see in Six Sigma, right? And these are the things why a lot of semicon industry are able to push themselves up to almost 0 ppm. Okay. Now, when we have the correct mindset, we should be able to achieve a better quality, a better cost, reduce waste, and also customer loyalty. Now, if you ask me, is it going to be that simple? I would say yes and no, because there are a lot of tools that needed, right? Needed to be practiced, right? For example, in terms of process, you need to look at the CPK. You need to have people looking on process improvement by doing design or experiment. We need to have process which is under SPC. We need to do FMEA. We need to do process mapping. The employees need to understand what is 5Y analysis and how to do 5Y analysis. They need to understand the 7 QC tools. Not only 7, there are 14 QC tools. They need to do lean analysis. They need to remove, all the waste in their production floor and the operations, their processes, right? Now, there are a lot of activities need to be done. Now, however, having those activities without any engagement of people, without any commitment, zero defect will not happen. Now, you see, this is another scenario, okay, how we should change our mindset, okay. We first start as looking at product, okay. At first, when we look at product, we're talking about a quality inspection. But then at the same time, we need to have product quality data analysis, whether we are achieving the quality that we want as accordance to what we have planned, right? But then we need to look into process oriented. This is where we need to incorporate the process. We cannot separate between product and process. We cannot separate them both. Okay, so we need to look at the process oriented, whereby now we are also looking into the equipment health. Okay, looking about how we can analysis the data to ensure that the machine, because machine are the one that incorporated or integrated into the process. Machines, just like what people in Toyota used to say, machines need to be harmonized with the human being. Then only we are able to achieve zero defect in our work, or in this case is manufacturing. Meaning to say that we need to both look at the product and also we need to focus on the process. Okay. Now, zero defect, there are contributors affecting why some companies can achieve ZD, why some companies fail to achieve ZD. It's all in the mindset. Okay. Now, we need to actually reverse the attitude. Okay, reverse the attitude in many of us that number of mistake or worker doesn't matter, right? Since inspector will catch them before they reach the customer. Now, this is the worst mindset ever. Okay, we rely so much on QA inspection. We rely so much on 100% inspection, but we forgot to look into the process itself. And so zero defects is talking about the overhaul of the mindset. I recently, I think about in last month, okay, I was invited to give a seminar, okay, in a factory to change the mindset of all the key personnel, okay, and also the employees, so that they will be able to see why zero defect is important. Now, this is a scenario that what we face in the factory. Okay, we have people in the R&D team. They build the prototype according to what the customer wants, right? But then when they complete the DFMEA, in my trainings, I have often asked the engineers, do you pass your DFMEA to the production guy? Sometimes I ask the production guy, do you ever receive DFMEA for the from the R&D team? The answer is no. That's why the communication between the design team and the production and process are very weak, or I can say non-existent. Okay, so these production people, on the other hand, just receive an instruction, right, what to do. They do the production build, they complete the FMEA. Again, this PFMEA or process FMEA is not being shared to the people in the R&D team. Okay, so what they do is they produce, and then the quality team will screen the process to ensure that customer receive the product as they wanted. But then the whole ecology of how to say the quality ecology, the ecosystem, there is a no loop system. Okay, there's always wall here. There's always a thin wall here between the quality team and production. There's another wall here between the quality team and customer. Why I say that? Because when the quality team present to the customer, they will filter out issues, right? They will filter out issues so that the customer will not be able to look what actually did happen in the production area. So what happened is the customer are unable to help you to improve your production. That's the reason why, just now you see in my slide here, that's the reason why I said earlier, a lot of big giants like Western D, they are trying to implement IoT environment because they want to be able to monitor your problems, right? So when they are able to monitor your problems through the IoT, right, they would have a better understanding how they could help your process and also how they would help their R&D team to make a better product. Okay. So in other words, in order for us to achieve zero defect, we need to take out this wall. We need to take out this wall. We need to be more clearer. That's why those companies which thinks that we have to achieve zero defect, they are doing IoT to help them. They want to monitor the process. They want to eliminate their wall as a total. Because in order for us to have that zero defect, okay, we need to have all these things in place, running in place, right? And if you look here, we need to have things like, FMEA, failure analysis feedback for improvement, means we need to have the production people to have feedback not only to the quality but also to the designers and also to the clients. We can't be hiding this information if we really want to achieve zero defect. But then, as I said, zero defect has their main contributors, which are the standard 4M. Okay. Now, I have tried to put something on this slide here for us to understand the issues. Okay. A lot of companies, they have quality system. Okay. In the 80s, when the ISO became the requirement, a lot of companies, they want to be ISO certified, right? But then, unfortunately, they do ISO system for business purpose. It's not really meant to have the quality management process in a higher situation, okay, but highest order, but then rather just for business. Hey, I have ISO, but then they have loosened internal and external audits. Now, throughout my training and consultations period since 1990, sorry, since 2004 until today, when I do a mock-up audit, I do ISO audit, I found that there's always loosened activities, right? Internal auditors become so relaxed, right? They become so complacent. And then I have even talked to external auditors. They say that I can't be very strict in my process. If I become very strict, then people will not engage me again, right? And then you have a lot of lag enforcement. And thus, the ISO 9000 system, which supposed to cater to improve your process towards achieving zero defect, is no longer making that progresses. Okay, it's just there for show. Okay, now you have other issues like workers in key area. Now, the common issues that we have high turnover, we have contract workers, we have people not utilized in terms of improvement activities. I've seen a lot of companies are not doing QCC activities, they are not doing SGA, they don't have suggestion schemes, right? Meaning to say that workers are no longer involved in quality improvement. Okay, they are deemed as just only robots. I don't call them robots. Robots do fantastic work. My boss used to say, asking the monkey to work for you. Right? This is not coming from Malaysian bosses, but coming from my Japanese bosses. They say that if we are having people not involving in quality improvement, then might as well employ monkeys to do the work. Right? Now, on the other hand, also we have material issues. To have a certified and approved supplies, okay, stable and consistent quality is something that is not being available to us in Malaysia. Okay, the common issue is always the unstable pricing. Okay, what happened is because the price is so unstable in a certain raw material that makes a lot of people in the industry is looking for cost down. Okay, Cost down is a good word, but then if you misunderstood what meant cost down, a lot of people, they cost down their product, but at the mercy of the quality level, okay? Or means they compromise the quality level just to get the cost down, okay? So that is one thing. Then standardizing work procedure, all right? Because of the high turnover, because we have people contractually work with us, we have every 3 years, we have very high turnover for the operators. And then at the same time, internal issues. We have engineers looking for a better pay, right? Because of price increase, right? So what happened is, whatever SOP you have, the actual practice may be different from the written SOP, okay? And in certain cases, we have an also SOP, but then when we ask the foreign worker to tell us, they unable to explain to us what is in the SOP. So this gives the worst impact on the quality level, okay? And what will happen is you will have these issues, okay? Because you have man issues, you have material issues, right? You have method issues. Then we have difficulty in achieve machine stability, process stability, okay? We start loosen up our SOP. We start loosen up in our restart SOP when machine or process have trouble. We have a lack of key maintenance SOP, because I have worked with certain client recently whereby the maintenance group say that maintenance group is always outcasted, right? No proper budgets are being given to the maintenance group to maintain the process. This is something I found it very interesting. We want to achieve good quality. We want to achieve zero defect, right? But then management as a whole would not want to allocate a substantial amount of money so that we can sustain our process. This is something very sad. Just because of that, then SPC is at the minimum, right? No continuous Kaizen activity, okay? No improvement has been made to the machine so that machine and operator can be harmonized, and CPK data is being manipulated. Then MSA data is also being manipulated, thus collapse the whole integrity of the quality system. And that's the reason why many companies struggle to achieve zero defect, right? Now, Toyota has a very interesting way of doing achieving zero defect, okay? Now, as we know that most of our production systems are based on TPS, or what we call Toyota Production System. Now, I won't be able to explain to you one by one, but this is a very old Toyota pledge card, okay, carried by the employee. And the employee need to understand the 10 items here, okay. If you look, I just read the first is customer first. You need to understand what is challenge, Kaizen, Genchi Genbutsu, Shinjutsu Goken, teamwork, ownership, responsibility, humility and gratitude, open-mindedness and integrity, and loving the company, right? Now, from this attitude, then they are able to sustain or to hold the production system, okay, what they call TPS. This is how they are able to ensure that the lean management, Lean Six Sigma, is driving towards the zero defect. At the same time, you're talking about getting people involvement, QCC, because the people who are directly involved with the quality are the workers, okay? They need to have teamwork, and that's why they say that, hey, we need to treat people with humility. We need to have gratitude towards the people. Then the system will work, right? And of course, they need to have a proper method in data analyzing, right? Now, this is the journey that which jump leads Toyota towards what they are now. Okay, in the early 80s, 70s, Toyota has not been regarded as the best quality car, right? It's always General Motors, Volvo, BMW, but now Toyota can sit almost with the same. level as this car industry because of the philosophy or mindset that they have, right? Now, meaning to say that in order for us to achieve zero defect, okay, we need to think long term. We need to look at the people. We need to look at the partners. We need to respect the people. The partners are our suppliers. So we need to respect them, right? We need to grow them, right? Now I want to share with you the thinking philosophy, right? Now this guy Taiji Ono is one of the greatest guy in Toyota. He say that having no problem is the biggest problem of all. We need to say that if people disregard the issues that surrounds them, okay, they did not see that issues can be resolved, then we have the biggest problem, he said. And he says also furthermore that progress cannot be generated if we are satisfied with our current situation. If we do not go to the Gemba and observe how people do things, then we cannot expect people to give us the feedback. You see, when we talk about process stability to achieve zero defect, we're talking about feedback from the process itself. Now, when we say feedback from the process itself, as we can see here, the basic 4M is the feedback to us, right? If the worker are unable to tell us the error, okay, the material doesn't give the proper certification, all right? The method we have is being scrutinized, then we are not able to achieve the zero defect. Okay. Now, but then in order for us to jump in towards the zero defect, we need to have a proper analysis. We need to understand the root cause, right? Now, again, this guy here, I love this guy. He said that data is of course important in manufacturing, but he placed greatest emphasis on facts, right? You need to understand the difference between factual data, factual information against a general data, okay? Because from what I have experienced in many, many organizations, data are being manipulated or being massaged or being changed, whatever interpretation you want, because they want people to be happy with the data, right? This is what happened in most companies. Okay, they want to make sure that the boss is happy. They want to make sure that the client is happy, right? So data is being filtered out. Now, if data is being filtered out for certain reasons, but internal data should not be manipulated. Internal data should remain as it is, right? So that we can make that improvement. Now, in order for us to understand the gaps, whether we are getting the correct information, Toyota say that, hey, we need to have the Sanjigen. The Genchigen means you need to go and see the process by yourself. Okay. Now, a lot of people, engineers in the R&D, they do not want to go to the process, or they are unable to assess the process because the manager doesn't allow them to do that. This is something very weird to me. You cannot manage quality, you cannot manage improvement, you cannot manage root cause analysis by just working from the table. You can't do that, right? Now, if you have time, look at the golden rules of the Gemba, okay? Then you will understand why it is so important that we need to go to the site, right? And we need to have a proper tool. Now, a lot of people, when they do root cause analysis, like here is always the problem. They did not clarify the problem, okay? They did not break down the problem properly. And some of us even jump to ask why first. Now, you must remember, all right, a good root cause analysis is not about asking why first. It's about asking what first, okay? When you ask what, then only we go into why. Then the common good of the tools will further help you to achieve your zero defect. Okay, so now you understand the zero defect mindset. You also understand that a proper tools would help you to go there. But the most important thing is talking about empowering the resources. Empowering resources is something personally, I felt that it's lacking here in Malaysia. Okay, lacking. Now, you can see that my experience in Japan, okay, I was a graduated. I graduated in electronics engineering. But when I worked in Japan, they put me in the production floor. Okay, I did ask, hey, I'm an engineer. Why you put me as an operator? This is what the answer I got from my Japanese bosses, right? Do you want to lead the people, but then you don't understand the first-hand experience, okay? Or otherwise, or in other words, the manager told me in a very blunt way, do you want to be a stupid manager one day? Because you can't lead people. So the hands-on experience for everybody at all levels is a must, okay? Is a must. Now, if you look at this slide here, very simple. This is the detector way. But then in Malaysia, the empowerment is this one, you do it your way, then I'll see it. But then as it goes, the transformation in lean style, the manager must be the leader. The engineers must be the leader. Follow me and we figure out things together, right? Means involving the worker all level, right? This method has been proven more effective in faster in terms of Kaizen activities. All right. Now, why empowerment? If we do not empower the people, we don't understand what's the problem. And every time we do root cause analysis, we come back to these three standards: retraining, tougher disciplinary act, changing the procedure. One thing you must ask yourself, if it did not happen the first time, what makes you think that by doing this, it will improve? Means we need to further understand about the human, okay? That's the reason why now in Japan, last time we say, hey, want to achieve zero defect, we need to do Poka or error proofing. But then now in Japan, even in many of the world, they're talking about Poka Miss. Where is the human partner which is still missing? Why can't we achieve what we wanted? All right. I'm not talking about just the operator, I'm talking about at all levels. We're talking about if we want to have people to be highly successful, right, or good performance, we should be looking at the human reliability. So what are they? We are looking at these three factors here. The organization culture, we need to have very good, strong culture. We need to have a job complexity which can be understood by all levels. We break it down so that people understood how we can do things better. And we need to have good people coming into the organization. Now, that's the reason why in Poka talking about, understand Poka Miss, understand why people cannot see the mistake. We need to understand why people make wrong judgment. We need to understand why people make their action judgment. Then only we can understand what are the proper tools of Poka that we can incorporate it into the product design and also the process design. Now, that's the reason why we are moving, right? Moving with all the tools that we have, then only we can achieve zero defect. Then there is another new things that you must keep bear in mind. The whole world talking about carbon zero. Okay. Now, on top of ISO and everything, now the world is talking about, can we save the world or not? Right? I think people in Europe, they're very good at making all these standards. Right? First, the ISO system, then you have the RBA, Reliability Business Alliance. Now they're talking about, can we go IR 4.0? Can we go IoT to achieve zero defects? Right? Now, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Because in order for us to achieve zero defect, how to say, we need to graduate this one. Okay. The thing is always the 5S. Okay. Then SPC. Then we move forward. And as I tell you, because the customer want to actually monitor you. Right now they say that, hey, I want to have IoT and so forth. Now you are being exposed, your process are exposed, your people are exposed, right? So things are not going to be easy. And now they ask about zero carbon. Right now, this is something I'm scared of. Right, recently I made some analysis and study. There is organization in Europe talking about zero carbon certification. Right, these people are actually, they make manufacturing life more trouble. I can't say competitive, more trouble. You see, RBA is already making a lot of industry suffer. Okay, some client even tell me, hey, I can't even scold my foreign worker these days. If I make very funny thing, then the auditor will give me a non-compliance. Now they make it even worse. You have zero carbon. Now a lot of company out there talking about we want to achieve zero carbon by 2050. Okay, so I'm very sure in the near future, a lot of requirement from customers, sophisticated customers that I say, people in Europe, in US, they say that, hey, we only buy things for zero carbon free manufacturers. I think that is going to be a challenge for us now. Now, that's the question is, why can we achieve that or not? Right? Now, in order for you to achieve this, you need to clear up all those other teething issues. Yeah, you need to strengthen up your SOP, you need to strengthen up your people, you need to ensure that your company is in line with the zero defect mindset. Then you can go for the next step, zero carbon. Okay. Now, zero carbon in manufacturing, if you can see here, right, this is an idea. Zero material, okay, zero energy, zero waste, okay, recyclable. Now, we can only achieve zero carbon if we are moving towards zero defect, right? Or otherwise, we are going to have problems, right? Because there are so many issues, and now come the zero carbon requirement, right? So before we end and before we ask the question, Q&A, now if you ask yourself again, is zero defect a myth? No, definitely no. Is it doable? Yes. Now, what can we do to ensure we have towards the zero defect journey? Very simple. Strengthen your system. Follow through. Right? Where to do it? Your entire production and business processes. Not only your production floor, but your business process. How you do employee claims, how you raise the PO, how you raise the coordination, and everything. It has to be zero error, right? Now, when? Now, right? Because opportunity never waits for you. Do it now. Why do it now? Like I said just now, zero carbon is coming in. People are pushing for that, right? So you don't do it now, then you'll be left behind. Okay, the train will leave you. Why? The world economy is in chaos, right? And only the fittest survive, right? So means if you are able to actually achieve your zero defect journey, then people will work with you. Now, who? You and your team, not your team alone. Okay, you cannot do it alone, and they cannot do it alone. You and your team. Then how? This is something very difficult. Remove bad apples before they damage your system, right? I have done this before, right? I remove all the bad apples. My organization becomes stronger, right? Even though when I remove the bad apples, people asking me whether I'm being injustice toward the other people. No, I say that I'm being justice towards every people, right? Then how much? Well, quality improvement should be free, right? So if you have the time, try and read a book by Bill Cosby. He talked about quality improvement should be free. Quality should be free. All right. So these are the points to ponder that you need to think about, right? And again, zero defects. If you are able to follow through whatever problems that I have written here, right? then you should be easily tackle the zero defect. No? So this slide here could be your template. Okay, could be your template. So you remove all the issues that I have mentioned here. Then I tell you, with a little bit of push, you should be able to make your first journey towards zero defect achievement, right? It's not impossible. It is possible, right? Now, if you want the slide, I think you can ask IK Academy to help you. Okay, they will give you the digital slide. I'm okay with it, right? So that you are able to look into your zero defect journey. Right, I think I have taken a little bit time. I'm supposed to finish in 40 minutes. I've taken extra 10 minutes. Sorry about that, Diana. Like
Okay.
now is the Q&A. All right,
Yeah.
if you have any questions, please ask. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Nizam.
Yeah.
It's a good sharing, by the way. I
Yeah.
think it opened up everyone's eyes also. Okay, so we hope that all of you learned something just now. So to everyone here, if you have any question, you can just please type your question in comment. And as for the rest of you, if you don't have any question, just type hashtag PK Academy. So before we proceed with the question and to give some time for everyone to write their question, if there is any, I would like to highlight our upcoming trainings that you might be interested in, as shown in the screen. Please scan the barcode shown and click on the link shared in the comment section to get more details. Okay, so I guess let's continue with the question. Wait,
I don't see any question in the live chat.
yeah, I'm looking also and
Okay.
Facebook. Looking at Facebook, LinkedIn, and
Wow.
also
Wow.
in YouTube.
Okay. Okay. All right.
It's okay. Before we wait for other for the audience to give some question, maybe I just ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
So I mean, like in your experience as a trainer and a consultant, do you think that companies in Malaysia will be able to achieve this zero defects?
You can, provided you're very strict, right?
Then follow all the points that you give just now.
Follow on the points, all right? And especially you need to remove bad apples. Right? It's hard, okay, but then you need to do it. You can. I have seen many companies already working toward achieving zero defect. Okay, and I think we did give a seminar in Johor. Remember,
Yeah.
zero defect to one company,
Correct.
right? They know they can achieve it. If this company, a local company, said they can achieve it, I think any company in Malaysia, if you put your mind to it, right, remove all the issues that I have outlaid in that one slide there, you can achieve. Right? It's not impossible. Japanese are not alien. They are not different from us. They are still human, right?
Yes,
So
true.
what makes them different from us? The only thing makes us different from them is that we do not stick to the rules that we have laid down. Right? That's the
True,
problem.
true. That is correct.
Okay.
So what is the main, I mean, like driving factor in achieving this zero defect? Is it the remove the bad apples, or I mean, like being strict?
It's people.
It's people.
I think you're talking about company is comprised of people. Right? The company does not comprise only one people. It's many people, which drive the quality, which drive the zero defect. They are all people. So if you have bad people in the organization, you have bad things. Right? So when I was an engineer, I was asked to look into people. I was asked to remove the bad apples. When I was in Omron as a production manager, that's what I did. Like I said just now, people have approached me and say that I'm being injustice, but then I have to be justified and justice to all the rest of the people, right? Even to the people that I've thrown out from the company, I have to be justified to them, meaning to say that they need to be able to fit into the organization. Maybe our organization does not fit you well, so you need to be in a better organization. So that's why I told myself last time, I'm being justice to all the people, the good apples and the bad apples. The only thing is that I don't want the bad apples becoming like what we say, cancer inside the organization, right? But then, unfortunately, there are a lot of people, they are unable to remove the bad apples. Now, how to remove the bad apple? Very simple. During the interview, you know he's bad. But then if he is a good actor, then you have 3 months to look at him, plus 3 months, 6 months to monitor him. If you do not able to detect that, then you are in trouble. I have worked with people, big companies. They say, Encik Nizam, we have seen these people bad apples during the interview and even sometimes during the probation period. but I cannot throw them now. They are human. Then you are not being justice to yourself. Then you can't
True.
complain. You are the one to accept. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you need to remove that. Okay. Bad apples are the worst kind of things that will make sure you never get to zero defect.
True.
Okay. That's why the culture is important.
Yeah, that's why people will say Malaysian people have a good heart as well.
Malaysian people, I can say, they are too kind.
Too kind, yes.
They are too kind. You cannot be that kind sometimes. Okay? You want to be kind
True.
outside, can, but not in operation.
In
And I tell
organization.
you, I think I've been complaining to many people. A lot of Malaysians these days, they disregard law. They do not want to obey SOPs. That is from the society affecting that person, and then that person is affecting the whole company.
Okay.
Right? So I'm not sure which one comes first, but I tell you, it all goes down to the people that. That's why
Yeah.
empowering the people is important.
Yes,
That's why
yes.
getting the people to be with you is important. Okay,
Okay.
if they are not together with you, just like in soldiers,
Mm-hmm.
if one guy is not together winning the war for you, then he should be killed. Or
True.
otherwise your team will be affected.
Correct.
That's what I think.
So I
Okay.
mean, like in a like here normally like a multicultural environment, like with like foreigners as workers. So do you think that would not be difficult to achieve the zero defect?
It has to be from the start. You see,
Mm-hmm.
HR people normally what they do is because they want to get the numbers, so they don't care whether the people comes in can be any idiot. All right, I've been
Correct.
to companies. Recently I just completed one training for karaoke. They told me that the operator cannot speak English. I said, my goodness, if you get an operator cannot speak English, the first rule of getting employee already failed.
Yeah.
Communication. Then how do you communicate with the people? You see, so the
True.
first round you fail. Now you bring another one, right? They are supposed to follow our culture, not that we follow their culture. You see,
True.
just like the one that they eat the red color, right?
Yeah, yeah. Siri.
Some sireh, whatever you call it. Now in Malaysia, the 5S is so bad because they say that I cannot impose this to them. It's their culture. Oh my goodness, I say they're supposed to follow us, not we follow them. You see. So
True,
that's
true.
why we have foreign workers, which is coming in not filtered properly. We
True.
just accept anybody. That's why, I think 3 days ago, I think one of the ministers said, and I agree with him, in order for us to have better salary, we need to have productivity. Means this foreign worker, we cannot highly dependent on them anymore. Okay, we need to improve ourselves, improve the work, right? Have zero defect, make more profit, and pay Malaysian people. Then it will become better. That's why in Japan, you go to the factory, there are least numbers of foreign workers. Okay,
True, true.
because we can communicate easily within our Malaysians, right?
Correct.
When we have foreign worker who doesn't know how to speak, how do you work?
Yeah, language barrier.
Yeah.
True.
So it seems that Malaysians are very good at having the KPI met, but it's the wrong KPI. Yeah? I want the numbers. I want 100 people. Oh, I got 100 people, but they do
Number,
not get the right people.
the
That's the
right.
problem.
True. Okay. So,
Okay.
so what would
Mm.
be your final advice? I mean, like for both employers and employees, in order for the company to synergize towards achieving zero defect.
Work together as a team, right?
Together as a team.
And one thing in my experiences, you have to bring down the barrier between employers and employees, right? The employers or even the stakeholder, they must understand the one that making money for you is the employee. The
True.
employee must understand. Employer give you the opportunity to work to make money. Don't misuse that. I've seen many workers, they come to the company, they work, the salary becomes their second income. Now they are doing something else. Okay.
True.
I have talked to a certain technician. They say that my friend cannot be located. I say, why? He's doing somewhere playing Forex. Hey, you want to play Forex, do at another time.
Yeah.
Don't do during the working hours.
Don't
This
do
is
that.
the problem, The employees have their own mind. The employers have their own mind. This does not match. The teamwork is no longer there. Okay. I have seen many company doesn't even have the annual dinner anymore. They doesn't have the get together, even within the department. Within the department. Then how are you going to have people working together? So employers, employees out there, please sit down together. All right. Solve the things together as a team. Then you can achieve it. Okay. Don't be a dictator. All right. A dictator is the worst kind of method in the current world. Okay.
True.
That's
Okay.
my advice. All right.
Okay. So thank you, Nizam, for your
Welcome.
sharing. So I
Welcome.
think there is no question from in the social media. So I believe all of us here gains lots of knowledge from you. So I mean, like, I want to share something. If you wish to learn further from TS Mohd Nizam, he will be one of our speaker for our upcoming conference with the title of a Maintenance X Square. Okay, looking at the slide. So on 20 and 21st June 2023, and he will share about synergizing root cause analysis in lean maintenance 4.0. So this conference is the place where we want you to find your answers that a great change is coming to the maintenance industry. How does digitalization can help make a difference to you? Aligning out to our theme of the conference, when the right digitalization strategy meets the right maintenance strategy, we can then expect exponential potential of results and productivity. So our panel of international guest speakers will create new opportunities and present truly unique solutions for you to revolutionize how you perform maintenance. They will take the best practices from more traditional maintenance methodologies and upgrade your toolkit with cutting-edge digitalization approaches. So please check our page or contact us to know more details about this conference. So I guess we have come to the end of our session today. So Nizam, any last advice or messages that you wanted to tell the audience?
Okay, very simple, guys. What you learn to make improvement, stick to the rules. Okay, stick to the rules, and if you stick to the rules, you will get it there. Right? Don't divert from the rules. A lot of people, they divert from the rules and they change the rules in order. Change the rules for the better is good, but change the rules just to fulfill, just to make someone happy, that is not good. All right. So be honest with yourself. Okay. If your production is not well, if the data is not showing very well, work on it. Right? Don't change the data. Okay, I've seen people changing the data just to make sure that the boss are happy. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that.
True. So
okay, to make your client happy is another problem. But then I think clients these days are very smart. Okay, they want to monitor you online. That's the IoT says that they want to do zero defect by achieving incorporating IoT. Right. So just do that. Okay. Don't deviate from the actual SOP.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
thank you,
Okay,
Nizam,
you're
for
most
the
welcome.
sharing. Yeah. So I guess that's all from us now. Please leave some comment in Facebook, LinkedIn, and also YouTube to our guest speaker today. And also don't forget to type hashtag IK Academy. Please like and follow our page in Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also join our FB community page, iClub by IK, to get latest news for our upcoming IK Live webinar series and also other content sharing. So I guess, I hope I can see you again. Thanks from me, Diana from IK Academy. Bye-bye, everyone.
And thank you, guys.
Bye, Nizam.
Right. Have a nice day and be safe. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.